We've teamed up with UK Auto Claims to see if you could be eligible to claim thousands in compensation. If you've had any cars, vans or motorbikes on finance between 2007 and 2021, well, just click the link below and start your simple free check.
Hi, welcome to AFTV. The game ended 2-1 to Arsenal. We've won, but instead of doing player ratings for today's game, because some of the performances weren't nothing to jump and scream about, we're going to do a season ratings of the players. We'll run through the squad. I'll try to remember everyone. I've got some of the list on me now. Let me just quickly, for goalkeepers, we'll start with Neto. You don't have to, but let me know. Neto.
Neto, just keep it moving. He only played one game. He didn't even play in the Premier League.
Yeah.
So, you know.
NA really, isn't it?
NA.
Let's go straight to then David Raya for the whole season.
David Raya, I'm going to give a 9. I thought he's been absolutely brilliant this season. It's been his first full season really, in goal. We saw Aaron Ramsdale today, the guy he displaced. And David Raya has been brilliant. I'm not sure if he won the Golden Glove.
I'm sure he's joint. But
yeah, he's had an exceptional season. You know what I mean? So yeah, 9 out of 10 for me.
9 out of 10. David Raya, you're right. Ramsdale was here today, got a good response. But
brilliant.
You're right. David Raya today. Not today. Sorry, this season it's been so good.
Yeah, he's been so good. He had no chance for the goal today, and he's just been brilliant all season.
Okay, let's go to right backs. Tomiyasu.
NA. I don't like laughing after because no player wants to be injured. No player sets out to be injured, and he must be devastated. He's just had a season full of injuries. But for all those people who are writing him off and saying he's done, get him out, I've heard all these things. That's what they're saying about Thomas Partey last season.
Yeah. And
Thomas Partey's literally played the whole season. He's been hardly injured.
One of the best.
He's played at right back. Today's playing at centre back. He's played at midfield, and he's been one of our best players. So he can come back.
Okay, let's go to then Ben White, who actually was injured for a lot of the season as well.
Yeah, it'd probably be a 5 because he's been injured literally most of the season. It was good to see him, looking fairly fit today. You know what I mean? But it's been disappointing for him because of injuries.
Yeah. Okay.
5. He's missed after the season.
5 for the season rate for Ben White. Duran Timber is also currently out as well.
Yeah,
but
I think he had an excellent season though. I'm going to give him an 8. I think he's been consistent. He's been outstanding. One of the best right backs in the Premier League, without a doubt, for me. And let's keep him fit. I know he's had a little operation on his ankle. Let's hope he comes back fully fit. Remember, this guy's coming off the back of an ACL injury. I don't think they would have played him as much if Ben White was as Ben White would have been available, but he weren't. So brilliant season for Urian Timber, 8 out of 10.
Yeah, you're right. I don't think there's enough credit that he deserves in the Premier League. He's been phenomenal. Okay, let's go into centre backs. Saliba,
I thought he's been really good this season as well. I'm going to give him a 7. He's had a few moments, but on the whole, consistently good. That partnership between him and Gabriel Magalhaes has been outstanding. 8. I'm going to give him an 8.
8, yeah?
I think he's been consistently good.
Okay. If you're going to give Saliba an 8, what would you give Gabriel Magalhaes then?
A 9. You know what I mean? Because I think, he's my player of the season.
Okay.
I think even though, despite the fact he's been injured since March, I still just remember how good he was before he got injured. He's just been exceptional. I think him and Ray are those two standout players for me, and Timbers alongside. But I think he's been brilliant this season. Gabriel Magalhaes, my player of the season, I'll give him a 9.
It's a high rating for Gabriel Magalhaes, deserved. Jakub Kiwior, the man that stepped in for Gabriel Magalhaes.
Jakub Kiwior, I'm going to give it 8. You know what I mean? I know it's not as many games, but he's come in. Think of the context of how he came in, the games he had, Real Madrid, PSG, big games, man. He came in and done brilliant. I want Arsenal to keep him. I think, I think he's done really. Actually, let me give him a 7. Maybe 8's a bit too high just because of the lack of games. But when people often like to talk about, we ain't got the squad. Well, what's that? That he's shown that he's a great squad player, that he can be relied upon if the main guy in Gabriel Magalhaes is not there. He's come in and he's been excellent.
Do you know what? The compilations I saw online of we got Jakub Kiwior at the back against Real Madrid and all that. I think the 8 was, I know you feel like it's high, but he stepped in when no one believed, honestly.
I think the only reason I'm saying 7 is just because if I'm giving like Saliba at 8, he's played the whole season, and he's played lesser, but he's been brilliant.
Okay, let's go to left back. Now, bear with me, people. There's a lot of these. Let's start with Calafiori.
Calafiori's got to be a 5 as well, isn't he? He was hardly fit. You know what I mean? Again, not even today, not even in the squad. injured all season, really, in and out. Really, really injury hit season for him. So let's hope we see more of him next year.
I know these weren't the main ones. Just give me a rating for Zinchenko.
Zinchenko, I'll probably give a 6. Again, injury hit season for him. Started off the season injured a lot. Has only really kind of been available a lot towards the end. 6.
Kieran Tierney.
Again, started the season injured. I kept saying this for literally every player. Remember he done his hamstring playing for Scotland. No pre-season. Only really played the latter part of the season as well. 6.
Miles Lewis-Skelly then.
Lewis Skelly, again, I'm going to give him an 8. I think, he's come in, he's lit the place up. Came in as an emergency player and has made the position his own. Playing for England, back in England squad again, scored in his debut. What a breakout season for him. Our young player of the season, I think. An 8 out of 10.
Okay, Jorginho in the midfield.
Jorginho never let Arsenal down.
Yep.
When every time he was called upon, has been a good servant to Arsenal. 7.
Thomas Partey, Robbie.
Thomas Partey, I'm going to give it 8. Yeah. I think he's had a very good season, consistent, injury-free. You know what I mean? He's played right back. Today he's playing centre back. He's been Mr. Reliable for Arsenal. You know what I mean? Mr. Reliable. I can't believe I'm calling Thomas Partey Mr. Reliable because he's always been injured in seasons gone by. I think they should keep him. You know what I mean? And he's had a good season, 8 out of 10.
Mr. Reliable. I'm laughing because you're right.
He has been.
People would say, he played right back. He's played everywhere, and he's done well this season. Let's go with Declan Rice, Robbie.
I'm going to give him an 8 as well. You know what I mean? Listen, he started the season a little bit slow for Declan, I think. He's one of the players who came back late after the Euros. Didn't look quite right at the start of the season. Remember, he had that sending off, which, by the way, wasn't his fault in my books because they soon abandoned that. But I have to say, the way the way he's finished off the season, he's been our main guy. You know what I mean? And what a player he is, world class. Okay, 8 out of 10.
Let me stick with the midfield theme. Mikel Merino.
Listen, Mikel Merino, again, started the season injured. Fractured.
We've had loads, bloody hell. When you think about it, there's bare injuries.
People don't understand this, but started the season injured. Remember, Spain won the Euros. He had no pre-season. Came in. Gabriel fell on his thing, fractured his thing. He was out. Then when he came in, he struggled a little bit to get into the rhythm, which happens to all players. And then got thrust into having to play as an emergency striker and did brilliantly. I think he's had a good season, a good start to his thing. I'm going to give him a 7.
Okay, Martin Odegaard, our captain this season.
Martin Odegaard, again, injured. Started the season injured, out for 3 months.
Jesus.
Never really recovered. Good to see him in the last couple of games, shooting, scoring goals. That's the Odegaard we remember from the previous seasons. But he's had a bit of a, I think, by his high standards, not a great season. I think it'd have to be a 5 for Martin Odegaard. It really has been an average season for him.
Yeah, we should title this video "Injured at the Start of the Season" again. Let's go to right wing. Let's start with Starboy.
Injured again. You know what I mean? Injured from what? Where we from January?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Just came back a few weeks ago. People forgetting that. Right, again, missed the bulk of the. Missed a good nearly 4 months of the season. But up until then, he was brilliant. Some of his stats still stand up, even with him being out 4 months. But the injuries knocked him, so I guess you have to give him. Has to be like a 6 just because of the amount of time he missed. 7. I'm going to give him a 7 for the amount of time he missed. But he's quality, and we need him fit next season.
Okay, Ethan Wanyeri.
I'm going to give it Ethan a 7 as well. You know what I mean? Like he came in, did really, really well. You know what I mean? For Saka, he also got injured. Oh
yeah, he
God.
did. He did.
Right.
He did.
People. Right. But I think he done well. I think it's a bit of a breakout season for him as well. I think, he's going to save his club a lot of money because you don't really need to go and get necessarily a right winger with him there. You may not need to get like a number 10 with him there. 17, remember. You know what I mean? What a player he's been. Great season.
Okay. Pays me to say, Raheem Sterling.
Yeah, he's not. I've been shocked at how poor he's been. A shadow of himself. Every time I watch him playing, I just can't believe it. I was at the Football Writers Awards the other day, and I was looking they had a list of all the winners of it, and it's just a few years ago he was winning them.
Yeah.
And he's just, it's been a poor season for him. It have to be about a 3.
Yeah, he's fell off a cliff. He couldn't believe his performances of this season for Arsenal. Let's go to the opposite wing. Let's go Trossard.
Trossard, I think, has had a decent season. You know what I mean? Like, he's been played a lot of games because of injuries as well. And I think he's had a good season. Not as good as, I think when he comes off the bench, more of an impact in that. He had to start a lot more games, but I'm going to give him a 7. I think he did all right.
Okay, Martinelli.
I'm going to give Martinelli, I think he ended the season well.
Better, yeah.
He sort of...
He was injured as well?
Injured as well, but he's a long injury, but he's injured as well. I'm torn. I think by his standards, I'm probably going to give him a 6. Fair. I expected a bit more from him. He finished the season well. He did well for us in the Champions League in those big games as well, but a 6.
Okay. Let's go through the strikers. Jesus.
What can I say? Do you know what? Actually, he was actually doing well.
Yeah, he
playing well in the Champions League and that, but then injured, out. You know, poor guy, ACL again. So you know, yet again, it has to be a 5, isn't it? Because what can he do? He's out. He can't play if you're injured. Another injury.
Kai Havertz
again was doing all right. Actually, having a decent season up until another injury. Just kept him out. He's come back for the last 2 games of the season. Out since January. I mean, it's the story of our season, unfortunately. So 6.
I believe that is everyone.
Anyone
I'm just going to flick through.
Else there?
That is everyone. That
maybe other players and they were injured as well. They're probably on the injury table.
If I forgot about you, you're injured.
People, this is when I said the other week, man, the injuries that Arsenal had.
It's crazy, isn't it?
You can't win a league with those injuries.
A man that wasn't injured, Mikel Arteta for the season.
Mikel Arteta.
He actually wasn't available today, he was on the touchline ban. But
it's a tough one, because like in the league, it's disappointing.
Yeah.
But then look at the injuries I've just been naming out. You could look on it and say it's a miracle that he's managed to even get us into second. Because look where Tottenham were. They had a lot of injuries. They finished 4th from bottom. They lost 22 games. Man United, look where they are. City, even they really struggled this season with the injuries that they had. So, and then in the Champions League, I thought we were brilliant in the Champions League. All right, we got knocked out by a very good PSG team. But we finished second again. We went out early in the Carabao. We were disappointed in the way we went out in the Carabao.
Yeah, the semis against Newcastle.
It was injury affected as well, but disappointing in the FA Cup. We haven't won a trophy. It has to be a 6.
6.
It's kind of harsh when you consider the injuries.
I think that's fair.
But I do think that,
style of play that we had this season.
Yeah,
there's a lot of factors.
Yeah.
6. 6, okay. The fans, this whole season that you've enjoyed going across every game.
Listen, the fans, I'm going to give the fans a 9. I think they've been excellent this season. They've stood behind the team through thick and thin. You know what I mean? There's been some disappointing times for us. It's been a bit deflating in the end. But you saw that stadium today. Away impact. Yeah. You know what I mean? There could have been a lot of people just say that I swerved this one, like Lee Judges over in Dubai. But everybody else turned out, right? So, 9 for the fans. Been brilliant.
And my rating for the season?
Your rating, listen, you turned up as well. So let me give you a 9 as well. You've done all right. You didn't do the refs, right?
Yeah, I'm not going to ref. Well, actually, to be fair, for the whole season, the refs.
And I think they've been
VAR as well.
I think the referees have been shocking this season. I saw even today that Villa one. That's probably because Villa are Champions League place. I think the referees all season from top, and it starts from the guy who runs it, Howard Webb. I think they need to have a serious look at these. This can't go on. They have been absolutely appalling this season. Decision after decision, no consistency, messing up the VAR. It has just been a disaster. When they go, I don't want to be over harsh. It's a difficult job. It's a really, really tough job.
Is it?
But I think when these referees go back and they assess this season, they've been shocking. 2 out of 10.
Ooh, that is a low one to end the ratings for the season. 2 out of 10 for the referees. I'm sure Ty will be agreeing with that. But listen, big up to all of you lot that have come with us on the journey as always, and the people that have watched the content as well. And big up to you, Rob, as well. Yeah. A successful season. You gave me a 9. I'll give you a 10.
Yeah, to big up our production teams, both in the studio. The guys that travel, like to big up Joe over there, he's been up and down a lot of the games. He's been here in the European games and that, right? all the guys, Ryan, James, you know what I mean, everyone, they've done, Ben, they've all done a great job with production, you know what I mean. Yeah, it's been, listen, despite the fact that we haven't ended up winning anything, I still enjoyed the season. Now, hi, welcome along to AFTV Transfer Daily. Spend some money.
And finally, a 10 for the women's team. You get the highest rating. Big up. Lovely.